We will be with you in a number of courses. The first of these courses is a course called Oracle Database Architecture. In this course, we will discuss a number of topics related to database architecture. The first video in this course is an introduction. In this introduction, we will talk about two basic topics. 1. Computing architecture. We will talk about how computer systems work, and it will be an introduction for us to understand how the Oracle database works. 2. Oracle database components. We will talk about the basic components of the Oracle database. The first point is computing architecture. All computer systems need three primary components to work. Of course, there are other components, but we will talk about the primary components. The first component is memory, or RAM, which is a temporary storage memory. This means that we lose data in memory after the first restart of the computer. The second component is the storage or disk, which is a permanent place to store data so that the data remains present even if you restart the computer. The third component is the processor, which processes the data. So we have three primary components for the operation of computer systems. 1. Memory. 2. Storage. 3. Processor. If the CPU wants to perform the processing, it does not do so directly on the storage or disk, but rather it performs the processing in the memory for several reasons, the most important of which is that the process of input and output on the memory is much faster than the process of input and output compared to storage. So if the CPU wants to perform the processing, it does not do so directly on the storage or disk, but rather the data is brought from the storage to the memory, and then the data is processed in the memory, and after that, the data can be saved again in the storage. A summary of what can be said at this point is that all computer systems need three primary components, which are 1. Memory, which is a temporary place to store data, but it is very fast. 2. Storage is a permanent place to store data, but it is slow compared to memory. 3. The processor, which processes the data. Also, the data processing process takes place in memory, and not directly on storage for several reasons, including that the input and output process in memory is fast. The second point is the components of the database. The database consists of two main components. 1. Oracle instance. It is a part of the memory allocated to the Oracle database. 2. Oracle database. It is a part of the storage allocated to store database files. Of course, the Oracle instance consists of a number of parts, and there are also a number of database files stored in the Oracle database. We will talk about them later in some detail. But what matters to us now is to know the basic components of the database, which are 1. Oracle instance. 2. Oracle database. If anyone wants to connect to the database, he actually connects to the Oracle instance first, and then he can access the database through it. In other words, the database cannot be accessed directly without the Oracle instance. So when we say the database has been closed, we mean that the Oracle instance has been closed, and therefore the database cannot be accessed. We will meet in the next video.